There is a time machine in the heart of old Malacca, a portal to a bygone age. For 75 years, the Royal Press has served its vibrant community, printing books, pamphlets, posters and proclamations as the great drama of Malaysian history unfolded in the world outside. Unlike its neighbours, which have been turned into lucrative massage parlours or boutique shops, the Royal Press is still at work. Its unique library of thousands of wooden and lead letter blocks is still being used every day. But for how long? This portal to the past may soon have to shut its doors. One young man is determined to keep the press working, to give its past a future.
The Royal Press is about 70 years old as a printing setup. Everywhere else in the world has moved except them. You know, this is really part of what we have made Malaysia to be, but unfortunately, nobody really shares the same hope. And I don't know whether will I be the only person carrying this or whether anybody was going to come on board.
Can Soon Wei devise a plan to take Malacca's Royal Press into the 21st century? Kuala Lumpur, the capital of Malaysia, one of the fastest growing cities in Asia. It is here that Ee Soon Wei works for his father's high-tech printing company. His father is an enthusiast for the latest technologies. Here everything is computerized, from the layout to the printing, and provides speed and accuracy.
I'm now a modern printer in that sense. In digital, everything is churning based on a commercial effect. I want it now, I want it fast, I want it cheap.
Like many eldest sons in Chinese families, Soon Wei is expected to take over the family business. But he has some unfinished issues to resolve first.
I could never really understand my father. He was so structured in business. So I wanted to basically understand him better by going back to my roots.
Soon Wei's roots are here in the Malaysian city of Malacca, once a great Asian trading hub. For centuries, Malacca drew seafarers and merchants from every corner of the globe. From Java, Thailand and Burma, India, China and Arabia, and then from places much further away. In the 15th century, Malacca was captured by the Portuguese. Then came the Dutch, and finally the British. These traders and conquerors left their traces in the fabric of the city. They're still visible today. That's why Malacca is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It was to Malacca that Soon Wei's grandfather, Ee Lei Sui, came to find a new life in 1938. Here he set up the Royal Press. This is where Soon Wei's father grew up.
So when I went to Malacca, I stayed for a while. I stayed in my grandparents' house. I lived in the room that he lived. Then I went over to the Royal Press and I started talking to my auntie. Can you please tell me a little bit more about the printing setup? And he mentioned one day, oh, you know this shelf here where we stack papers? That's where your dad used to stay when we didn't really have much money. So it got me really interested about how they basically amassed their wealth and how they started up their print. I just took an interest in that place and I enjoyed my time there.
Soon Wei became ever more fascinated by the Royal Press, and he discovered that there was one family member with an encyclopedic knowledge of its remarkable history. His redoubtable 80-year-old aunt, Ee Ju Guat, Ee Lei Sui's eldest daughter.
I joined the Royal Press in 1950. This is a family business, you see. After school, I said, I want to work outside. Father said, no, you better stay back. The Chinese people expect the next generation to carry on, you see.
Ee Ju Guat has been part of the family business for more than 60 years. Over that time, she has built up an impressive roster of clients.
Printing tickets, bus tickets, and some stationeries, printing labels, wedding cards, school exercise book, magazine, general printers.
Many of the press's first clients have stayed faithful to the business for more than 7 decades.
very, very long ago customer already. Since my parents' time up to now, you see, they are very patriotic, you see.
Whenever Sun Wei visits the Royal Press, he likes to delve into its history.
Yeah, this is quite interesting. This is actually a bus ticket, Southern Omnibus. I've never heard of it. Not even sure whether it's still existing. Printed by RPM, so it says here, Royal Press Malacca. That's my guess.
And there's more. A pamphlet for the circus. A multi-language advertisement notice. A booklet about the history of a local temple. There are print samples and old printing blocks scattered everywhere. Shelves of paper stock have been lying here, some untouched for decades. There is an astonishing diversity of work, a record of the labors of the past. It seems that nothing has ever been thrown out. The Royal Press has been frozen in time. Sun Wei is just as astonished by the old printing machines that turned out all these pamphlets, bus tickets, labels, and wedding cards over the years. Today, only one person knows anything about these machines, Tan Boon Kien, who has been working at the press for more than 25 years.
The oldest machine
The Royal Press has.
This is a simple machine. The only thing, this is the ink, where we put our ink, and this is a roller. Actually, there is a roller here. 1, 2, 3, 4. The roller will roll here and up and down and bring out here. There is the way we put our form here, and this is the impression. Okay, we'll put our card here, you do the impression, simple. Then every time you print one copy, you take up.
I see.
In his day, Sun Wei's grandfather was an innovator. He brought to Malacca cutting-edge new technology. After the war, he imported printing presses from Heidelberg in Germany, made by the company that bears the city's name and is today one of the biggest print technology companies in the world. At the Royal Press, these wonderful German-made machines are still at work today. These printing blocks are the cutting edge of the Royal Press. For half a century, Ah Chan has been making these blocks in 4 languages. It's Ah Chan who does all the crucial typesetting, letter by letter. Her work and knowledge define the magic of the Royal Press. Ah Chan does everything by hand, using what's called movable type. 500 years ago, the invention of movable type was a pivotal moment in human history. For the first time, any number of books and printed texts could be copied. Books were no longer the property of an elite, and this revolution depended on these tiny letter blocks. If Sun Wei is to preserve the heritage of the Royal Press, he will need to understand Ah Chan's unique skills. Sun Wei has been digging into the history of his family business, the Royal Press in Malacca. Today, the press is no longer a viable business, but Sun Wei wants to preserve its unique heritage. He begins to understand just how extraordinary its story is. He seeks out Ah Chan, Royal Press's only typesetter who has worked at the press for more than half a century.
Chan,
Yes. 做咩啊？
今日同你學嘢，
學嘢啊？
點排版，
點排版啊？辣教我哋。
冇錯啊。
首先你學呢啲，你就可以識執字，識咩啊？你識咗啦，你把啲執咗嚟排。
This is one of Malacca's secret wonders. the Royal Press's letter block library. There are more than 150,000 individual letter blocks here in these racks. It's a mind-boggling number, but every one is needed because the Royal Press must be able to print in 4 different mediums: English, Chinese, Jawi, and Tamil, each with its own different alphabet.
啲中文係咁嘅咯。
The heart of the printing block library is its enormous Chinese section. To print in Chinese, Achan needs 6,000 different characters, all in at least 3 different font sizes.
我哋有分通用，通用嘅喺呢度，唔通用嘅喺另外一個部位。
Even after working here for half a century, Achan occasionally has difficulty finding a particular character.
你最少你摸熟呢度，你識呢個字啊，最少都幾個月後你唔得㗎啦。而家真係唔識得晒㗎，都係慢慢揾㗎。
It's much too early for Achan's new apprentice, Sun Wei, to tackle all those thousands of Chinese characters. He will need to start with a simpler challenge: good old Roman type.
英文咧就順啦，英文你得一個盤拉出嚟，得嗰個26個字母，大寫同細寫咁啫。
Even so, there are some surprising challenges. Sun Wei has to set the character row upside down. Then he must master all the important finishing touches, like how to use these lead strips that separate lines of text.
排版最複雜嘅，做1擺、2擺、3擺，咪識咯。後台係辛苦啲㗎，排版最辛苦嘅。而家周圍都冇用咁嘅，好少啊，少少嘢啦。計我個思想嚟講下，做翻呢個比較好，係個辛苦啲、落後啲啦。計我又中意咁樣。
When you spend time working on the letterpress blocks with Auntie Achan, you pick up certain things. Whatever she's picked up in 60 years, she transfers it over to me in 60 minutes.
你嘅講要咁啲個台甩出嚟咯。
Passing on knowledge like this is a Malaccan tradition. The history of the city is all about passing on the secrets of a craft from generation to generation. Here in the old Chinatown area, craftsmen still work at their age-old trades. Chan Kyok Tiam makes wooden buckets, a skill he inherited from his father. He still uses traditional tools, such as this old-fashioned drill. Wong Kun Wah also inherited his skills from his father. The family business was established in 1927, and his skills give life to the streets in Malacca. Some streets in the old town are named after particular crafts. Here on Blacksmith Street, you can still hear the distinctive percussive orchestra of the blacksmith's craft. Tan Chin Sin is a 4th-generation blacksmith who learned the trade from his grandfather. He is still using the ancient pair of tongs, a giant hammer, and this 90-year-old anvil to make an amazing variety of goods: cleavers, machetes, hooks for hanging and lifting slaughtered animals, and hand sickles. Over the years, the numbers of traditional blacksmiths in Malacca has fallen markedly, and with demand for their craft declining, their children and their grandchildren aspire to more lucrative work. Ironically, the fact that Malacca is a UNESCO World Heritage Site has made the problem worse. Rents have risen, driving out many traditional businesses. The Royal Press is no exception. Today, it has only a handful of clients left. Most have opted for modern technology. Month after month, the press is losing money and is under a lot of pressure to keep its doors open. Its future is now uncertain. If Sun Wei wants to keep the family business alive, he will need to come up with a convincing new plan.
My hope for Royal Press is first and foremost the preservation. I don't want it to die and be sold off, and every item there to be liquidated and just basically close shop lah.
Sun Wei has a dauntingly ambitious idea to convert the Royal Press into a living museum.
I would like to have a sense of continuity, but to do that there must be a realistic goal. So if I can preserve the people and convert it into a museum with a press at the same time, and then have designers from around the world come and take part in the letterpress work. Yeah.
It's an ambitious idea. No one has tried to create a craft museum in Malacca before. So Sun Wei turns to Joseph Fu, an experienced designer, for advice.
There's a sense of urgency to me because I see the craftsmen are getting older, and so I think something must be done. That I think we should have a younger people to come by, at least to know the trade. So I think this is something that we should appreciate and we should help to sustain.
For Joseph, it's the traditional way of typesetting that is the living essence of the Royal Press.
It's a lot to do with the sense of details in typography, how you put the letter together one by one. You learn more in an afternoon than in front of the computer for maybe 2 months, because then you get to do it. The feeling is different, the press is there.
This idea of a living hands-on museum makes good business sense too.
This is right in the center of the tourist place in Malacca, and there's very good flows of tourists. There's a lot of things to be done. I guess if you take one step at a time, it should be manageable.
For Sun Wei, Joseph's enthusiasm is a big step forward.
At least to tidy up.
This new path seems to be a much longer, and we don't know when it will come around. But I'm determined in a sense that I want to do it well.
In Sun Wei's mind, a vision of a living, working museum has begun to take shape. But he must first convince his family that his plan for the Royal Press is really viable.
The common theme is this: Sun Wei, don't waste your time. Personally, I don't think any of my time is wasted because it allows me to grow as a person. I guess they wear a different lens.
To win over his family, Sun Wei has been spending time with his formidable aunt, Yi Ju Guat, who still lives in the old family home in Malacca.
Yes. All here already. Squatting down here. This one.
Ju Guat is happy to back Sun Wei's plan to save the press, but Sun Wei still has to win over the rest of the family.
I needed to get the family on board for my renewal plan of a living museum before I could move forward.
Since Sun Wei, they are interested, so we support him, in this line, in the printing press. The gallery in the side one, must uphold the printing press.
But they warn him to be cautious.
I tell Sun Wei mustn't in the haste, step by step, slow and steady win the race. Nowadays, the youngsters, they want to fast, everything fast. No foundation. Then there's whole trouble.
They're a bit apprehensive about the project because, first and foremost, a lot of them are in their 70s, so they don't have the energy to go into it. Well, as much as they support, funding is going to be a challenge, time is going to be a challenge because I'm based in KL.
Back from historic Malacca in 21st century Kuala Lumpur, it's decision time for Sun Wei. He's giving up his job at his father's printing company to focus on the Royal Press. To flesh out his ideas, he has decided to make a pilgrimage to that inventive nation where modern printing was first invented 600 years ago, Germany.
I'm taking the train to Mainz to visit the Gutenberg Museum. I'm actually very excited because this is really what I've been wanting to do. I hope that I just have enough time to take it all in, to learn about how a professional museum is run, and I'm looking forward to the guided tours that I'll be getting. And hopefully from all these learnings, I'll be able to take it back with me to the Royal Press and then put it into the renewal plan.
Mainz is a vibrant and prosperous city on the River Rhine that remains proud of its favorite son, Johannes Gutenberg, born in the 1400s. Sunway has arrived in midwinter and temperatures have already plunged below zero. In Mainz, Gutenberg is everywhere, and with good reason. Half a millennium ago, this brilliant craftsman and entrepreneur invented the first movable type printing machine. The new press could perfectly reproduce any number of books and documents. It's something we take for granted today. Before Gutenberg, it was impossible. The story of the first modern press has always fascinated Sunway, and he is looking forward to meeting Dr. Klaus Maywald, the Deputy Director of Gutenberg Museum.
Welcome to the Gutenberg Museum. Yeah, cold outside?
It's very cold and it's my first time
inside
here.
It's better. Okay, let's have a walk.
The museum is world famous and contains some spectacular exhibits. Among them is a copy of the world famous Gutenberg 42-line Bible.
Yeah, please come in.
Yeah.
So let's see some originals. I'm sure you will enjoy it.
The Gutenberg Bible was the first book produced on a printing press in the world. Today, only 49 copies survive, and it is considered one of the most valuable books.
The Bible was the ultimate sample to show what his profession could do.
Before Gutenberg's invention, books were created by hand, and it could take years to create a single Bible.
People, they were used to see a manuscript with a unique work and was not identical to the next manuscript. When printing was invented, Gutenberg was printing 180 Bibles, identical prints. So within 2 years, you could have printed 180 copies. So this is really a revolution.
But this is just not somewhere to look, it's a place to do. And Sunway is keen to get his hands on the invention that changed the world.
You know what that is?
Is this the Gutenberg press?
Yes, it's what we call our Gutenberg press. It's a replica made in the 20s of 20th century. It's a very impressive one.
Yeah, I've traveled very, very far to be here.
I know.
And this was something I've been wanting to see. My favorite
you
is
want to try it?
Yes, I want to try it.
Yeah, you can. Okay,
Can
you're
I?
welcome. Yeah, come on, we go.
Okay, let's go.
The center of this production line is the letter types, the metal letters, and you could start to compose printing page. And this was only one aspect of his invention.
Gutenberg was inspired by other kinds of pressing machines, ones used to squeeze wine out of grapes or make paper sheets. But a press for printing individual letters, the movable type, needed a lot of refinement to work properly.
Gutenberg had to adopt the press for his invention. He had to change somehow the press so the pressure was equal on the whole surface of the page he wanted to print. For grapes didn't care if they were pressed a little bit more on the right or left side, but it matters exactly a lot for
you need distribution of weight to be even right across. Yeah.
Otherwise the print would have been spoiled.
Yeah.
This is just one aspect. Next aspect, for example, how to ink.
The next problem for Gutenberg was to make a new kind of ink that wouldn't smudge.
The ink had to be drying in a very short period of time.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the pages would all wet and have
smudging.
Exactly. So, on every small detail, you can see the genius of Gutenberg to succeed the whole production line until the product, the Bible, was finished.
To show off his new invention, Gutenberg used the very best kind of paper.
Gutenberg printed on parchment as well as on paper. Was delivered from northern Italy.
Yeah.
At this period of time, it was thought to be the best paper they could get.
Yes.
Now you close it, or we close it together.
Yeah.
It's already inked.
Okay.
the carriage under the press. A good art reference would know without marking it, but we...
Is that too much?
No, this is okay.
Let's put your leg up here, right?
Exactly.
Should we stretch first?
Okay, you do it.
Slide, and then we
1, 2, 3.
Then we push it back. Pull it out.
Now stop, just a second.
Sure.
Because now you can listen if the print is well done or not. Just listen. It's the sound. Whoa!
Yes. Clapped. Yeah.
Yeah, it's too much. We press too much. You see? Oh, not so bad. It looks quite okay. You can take a sample, but it's not A level, huh?
Yeah.
I would say C or D.
C or
so
D.
we had to improve much.
The result is far from perfect, but for Sun Wei, it's thrilling to actually use a replica of the first truly modern press. This experience will turn out to be an important clue to the kind of museum Sun Wei wants to create in Malacca. Sun Wei is trying to save the old royal press in Malacca. He has travelled thousands of miles to Germany to search for inspiration. After a day at the Gutenberg Museum in Mainz, Sun Wei already has a few ideas. The museum is not just a place to look, but to do, and the curators make brilliant use of their historic collection. Some of these printing machines were made by the same company based in Heidelberg that manufactured the presses that Sun Wei's grandfather brought to Malacca 70 years ago.
What I like about this setup particularly is that we have all these machines and it's a good impression of how they have displayed, and it could be something that we could actually follow. This is where I start taking notes of how things are done here, and I appreciate the systems that they've put in place.
At the Gutenberg Museum, Robert Hartmann, a retired printer, lovingly keeps the old printing machines in working order and prints merchandise for the museum's shop.
2,000 prints per hour, only in black. This printing press is from 1953. Very good machine.
Still in very good working condition.
Yes, yes. It's made in Germany.
Made in Germany. Can I keep this, Robert?
Yes, right.
Thank you very much. Yes, it is. It is. I like it very, very much. Thank you for showing me around, for explaining all the little details. I really learned a lot. I'm going to take some time now just to look around the rest of the museum. Yeah. So thanks again for showing me, and I look forward to seeing you again.
Yeah,
okay.
You're welcome.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Tschüss.
Another inspiration at the Gutenberg Museum is its exhibition about East Asian printing. It reminds Sun Wei of the multilingual or polyglot capabilities of the Royal Press. It's something he wants to spotlight in the new museum. The museum's deputy director, Dr. Maywald, is already an enthusiast for Sun Wei's plans.
I feel, it's just a feeling that this polyglot idea is something very special for your museum, as well for your country, and now nowadays worldwide. Nobody ever had thought about creating a museum around this subject. It fits perfect to your printing history.
Sun Wei really does seem to have impressed Dr. Maywald.
He's dynamic, he has an idea. He knows what he wants and goes back to his roots. He wants to see how it was done. He wants to preserve cultural heritage. The digital world is not everything. A screen is not a paper. A screen is not a printed page. I think he is right to see that in a world where the printing world is changing, you can't stay with the old technology. You had to go with, but you can keep something. You can keep in touch with the quality, with all your senses to the old craft.
Most of all, Sun Wei is intrigued by the way the Gutenberg Museum encourages visitors to have a go, to be active, not passive. They have a special workshop, the Druckladen, devoted to providing practical experience. The Drukladen, which is the museum's education unit and practical workshop, gives interested groups and individuals the chance to spend a few constructive hours trying their hand at compositing and letterpress printing. Sunwei is looking forward to a specially organized session with one of the museum's dedicated volunteer printers.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Sunwei.
Nice to see you. I'm Luisa. And I will lead you through the Drukladen today. I will show you everything you want.
Okay.
But when you want to work here, you need this apron.
Sure.
I'll give it to you so
Thank
that
you.
don't get full of color.
Okay. Thank
and
you.
yes, let's start.
All right, let's go.
Before we can start printing, we need some ink.
Yep.
And here in this area, we always have the basic colors, yellow, red, and blue.
Okay.
And with these colors, of course, we can mix all the other colors.
Correct. Yeah.
The ink needs to be spread over the inking stones evenly.
So I take this.
Yeah, put it in here and
This
yeah,
We swirl it a bit.
yes, like honey.
You turn it around. Seems that you need to apply a lot of pressure to give it a very even coat so that it's all well flattened out.
Yeah, yeah.
Sunwei is an excellent apprentice. With the 3 inking stones set to go, he is soon ready to move to the next step.
Here we have now many printing plates,
Yep.
especially for the kids. They love all these pictures.
Yeah.
But I will show you the technique with this Gutenberg.
Gutenberg.
We lay it down here,
What is this machine called?
hand print press.
Hand print press.
Because
Okay.
we pull it with the hand. I will start with yellow.
Okay.
I have to turn it around and then take
Get some ink.
the ink. Yes. And now, however I like this.
Oops.
This doesn't matter, it doesn't print.
Okay.
Yeah. Now we need the paper. Paper's all here.
Okay.
And then I have to concentrate. So, and now we need to pull it towards our bodies.
Yeah.
Stuff. And you always have to pull it with both hands.
Hands. Yeah. Okay. Wow. Very
Now we
nice.
have our-
This is just the first stage of today's workshop. There is more to come.
Now, as a jest, we will print a Bible page.
Yeah.
And we need some ink. I like the sound.
Yeah.
With great care, the page is precisely positioned on the plate. Just a few millimeters can make all the difference.
And then we put
I'll bring it down.
cover down. Yes, careful with your fingers.
This is a toggle press from the 1860s, but the basic principle is the same as the original
Now-
Gutenberg press.
Yeah. Now the print is
Done.
made, and you can
push it
push it back.
Wow.
So, and move it back. Now push it.
On the reverse, yeah.
Yeah.
Here you go. Nice and slow.
And when you now take the paper and you're very quiet, you hear the sound, the kiss of the printer.
Is that right?
Yes.
Here we have it.
Yeah, like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now we have our Bible page,
Very
the
nice.
Gutenberg.
There is still one more step before completion.
Here in this station,
Yeah.
we work with movable types because that's what Gutenberg invented.
Yes.
And I would say we print it on top of our Bible page
Yeah.
and we print Gutenberg.
Okay.
So now you can take the letters for Gutenberg.
G. U.
T. Right.
And then this BRG here. Yes.
Now you have to look that everything is from left to right and everything upside down. Now you see that not everywhere is the nick. Long years ago, the typesetters, they hadn't that bright light we have today, and so they need to feel whether everything is is right, and so they made the invention of this nick.
Yep.
Magnets hold the blocks securely in place.
Here, on this side, and on the other side. These two lines. Here, and then they are here in this cage. Now you can put the ink on it, yes. So, now we can put our paper on it, and we have to take care which direction.
Yeah.
Yes, everything
This is where.
upside down.
Yeah. Looks good.
Cool.
So this is
Nice.
complete?
Yeah.
It's finished?
Now
This is-
you can take it home with
This
you.
is for me, yeah.
Yeah.
For Sun Wei, it's the Druckladen, with its opportunity to get down and dirty with printing technologies, that has been most inspiring.
They have a very extensive workshop here. They offer workshops where everyday people can pick up, and the way this place is run is that the setup is operated by a master typesetter who's in his 70s, who's very similar to Auntie Achan in Royal Press. My hopes for the letterpress workshop for the Royal Press is to see an actual letterpress workshop take place. And to cross that bridge, it's going to be an arduous task ahead of us. But if we can complete it, I think that will be our first victory.
Now Sun Wei must return to Malacca to turn dream into reality. Back at the Royal Press, there is much for Sun Wei to do. Right at the top of his agenda is a massive cleanup.
Start going.
Sun Wei has some expert help from Tan Boon Kien, the press's veteran operations manager.
We clear 1, 2, 3 pairs. Then after from top to the bottom, we clear one side. One side after clearing, we go to the second side. Then after the inner one, then we finish off everything. From here to here, the thing all empty, completed.
This old paper stock has been gathering dust here for years. For Sun Wei, getting rid of all this junk marks the rebirth of the Royal Press.
But this is really the beginning of the transition for the Royal Press. A chance to clean up, a chance to make it look better. And we'll just see at the end of the day what happens.
An even bigger challenge will be the old printing machines. Can they be coaxed back to life?
We try on the first machine.
Yeah.
See how's if running smoothly, then we go in the four machine all together. Okay.
Today, it's hard to find parts for the older machines, so Kien has to adapt modern ones. The next big challenge is working out how to transform a working business into a working museum. So Sun Wei has brought back designer Joseph Fu to present his ideas.
One wall will be with all the informations, and then you right in the center will be where you display the blocks, and maybe just one wall full with all the print, that's been the proofs.
Today, I got people who I knew could recognize potential and then visualize it and bring it forward, and just sharing how certain rooms can be exhibited for certain things. That really came out to life, and people here at the Royal Press have gotten a bit more excited as well.
Most thrilled by the new developments is Achan, the queen of the print blocks. She is a crucial part of Sun Wei's plan, inspired by the Gutenberg Museum.
This morning we are here to prepare for our first very workshop here at the Royal Press. And I'm just here with Auntie Achan this morning and Chun Pang, our designer, just to set everything in place. What I picked up from Germany, we're trying to apply it here. So, I guess we are just preparing ourselves before it all starts.
On the second floor, Joseph Fu's team is busy putting the final touches to the museum space, which will be opening in 2 days' time. One of the most impressive sections of the new museum shows off the multilingual capabilities of the press. The Royal Press has always been proud to be able to print in 4 different mediums. A wall of printed proofs showcases the numerous clients of the royal press over the years. Especially important for Sun Wei is what he calls the family wall. It's a way of reconnecting with his own past.
We wanted a wall to illustrate who we were, who we are, how it started. So there are little captions and bites here from the different key people. And this wall is not dedicated to the family alone, but to also the long-serving staff of the Royal Press.
Another important advisor as the museum takes shape is Sun Wei's formidable aunt, Yi Ju Guat. She has a lot of advice for her nephew.
Letterpress still have their value, you see. This is art, you see. Sun Wei, he said, do gallery, you see, for the young generations to see the art. I say, but for the most important thing, the Royal Press name cannot be destroyed.
It's been a hectic rush, but Sun Wei has done everything possible to make sure the new Royal Press will be a success. He will open his doors the next morning. Malacca, a World Heritage City and home to the Royal Press. Today, Sun Wei is putting the lessons he learned in Germany into practice. He wants to test for himself the hands-on, practical ideas that he brought back from the Gutenberg Museum in Mainz. He has brought some students from Kuala Lumpur to try out the first workshop.
Hello. Hi. How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Hi.
Good to see you. Come.
Today, they will be Sun Wei's guinea pigs.
In today's workshop, you get a chance to actually start from the very beginning of how print methods actually come about. So you learn a bit about composing and then making proofs and then hopefully taking something home with you guys. Mm-hmm. Okay? Are you guys excited?
Yeah.
Excellent. Come. 阿珍早晨。
好。
我啲朋友。
Okay.
The Royal Press's veteran typesetter, Ah Chan, is on hand to show them the way. The first task is to choose the movable types from the drawers and to lay them out on a composing stick. The letters need to be arranged from left to right and everything is upside down.
Sini ala kaki kan, sini jalan. Okay.
係咪咁樣啊？
係。
So how are you finding your first experience? Easy, not easy?
It's harder because it's the other way around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to have a good sense of feel and touch of what fits and what doesn't.
Yeah.
Sun Wei passes on the tricks of the trade that he has himself learned over the last few weeks.
This folding technique is called leading. So you lead, it's like creating your paragraphs. In the computer today it's 1.5, 2.0. So this is the form of leading. This is how you actually, because this thing is made out of lead. So the technique called leading is actually making the spacing.
The idea is to tackle every aspect of the printing craft.
You probably get a more in-depth experience about letterpress printing here at the Royal Press versus, say, the Gutenberg Museum, because the workshops over there are just a bit more basic. But what these guys are experiencing right now are really the art and the craft of actually composing.
During the workshops, everyone must mix their own ink. Applying just the right amount is essential. Once properly inked, a test print is made using a proofing machine. In the history of the Royal Press, a new page has been turned. Thanks to Sun Wei, it has been reinvented as a museum with a special agenda. It's the first time visitors to the press have been able to use the old machines and types.
如果有人學，我又好歡喜嘅，好高興嘅，因為有人喜歡學呢個，有興趣學呢個嘛。年輕人咧，佢肯學咧，最好噶啦。佢長做咗，我仲歡喜。有人繼續嘛？
Well, generally from the workshop that we had today, I think it went quite well. We were actually using the real tools of what Royal Press used to use. People are very keen to be experimental, very keen to have their hands dirty.
Today, it's launch day for the Royal Press Museum.
Come, show you the family wall first. So this is your quote. We must maintain the name, that's the most important thing you see. And you cannot change anything that can destroy the history of the press because it's an art.
I'm proud of Sun Wei. He's done great effort in it, you see. How he will carry on, you see. This is part of the future of Royal Press, you see. The Royal Press is still is a printing press, you see. This is part of it, you see. It's going to have hand in hand to it.
I guess my heart is still with the Royal Press very much, and I've been working on it, and I'm still going to work on it. It was a project that started from the soul, from within. I said it would be nice if we could preserve the family heritage and perhaps make it into a living museum. What I'm seeing here today, I think we have a good chance of making it work. Hi everyone. Thank you once again for coming. Thank you for participating and supporting what we have kind of endeavored. And as we begin a new beginning, there's Auntie Achan, there's my auntie, and there's Ken. So I've learned so much from them, and today I just wanted to appreciate them with just a cake and just showcasing this to them. So, Toko, Auntie Achan, Ken, thank you very much. Thank you.
The opening of the new museum is the beginning of a long journey, linking the past to the present and the future. The new Royal Press Museum celebrates and preserves a proud Malaccan tradition. But this is no dry and dusty museum. It's a living, working celebration of an ancient craft. Its visitors will experience for themselves the inspiring tradition of Malacca's Royal Press.